Welcome back, guys. I'm Mark Wong, and today we are in the tech room, your trusty companion for all things tech. Whether you're a tech enthusiast looking for the latest innovations or a casual user seeking honest reviews, you've come to the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the realm of gadgets, gaming consoles, PCs, and more. In this video, we will be talking about how much you should spend on a gaming PC in 2025. Now, in the world of PC building, there is no definite answer as to exactly how much you should spend on your gaming PC. There are a lot of factors that come to mind when examining this topic, such as what your needs are, the types of games you play, the resolution, and a number of other factors. On top of that, I will also give you recommended pre-built PCs to remove the guesswork of trying to figure everything out piece by piece. To help you further, there are timestamps and direct links to all the products in the description below. Also, it's worth noting that the prices can change from time to time. So again, be sure to take a close look at the direct links for the updated price tags. On top of that, be sure to take a look at our landing page in the description for the complete list of all our products. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, when building a gaming PC, monitor resolution is one of the very first things you'd want to consider. Imagine buying a 4K monitor, but you have a PC built for 1080p gaming. This would cause a serious monitor bottleneck in which you'll experience stuttering, lags, and a low frame rate on your 4K monitor display. Of course, the higher the resolution you want to play in, the more expensive your gaming rig is. By today's standards, 1080p is the cheapest resolution and is the minimum you'd want to play in. This resolution is best for casual gamers or those who play competitive multiplayer games. This is also the ideal pick for gamers who prefer high frame rates over high visual quality. 1440p, on the other hand, is the sweet spot between visual quality and performance. Finally, there is 4K, which offers the best visual quality. However, this is the most expensive resolution option out there. Now, while there is 8K, this resolution isn't used for gaming as of now because there aren't any GPUs powerful enough to run games smoothly and efficiently at 8K. Now, how about the prices? For a 1080p build, expect to spend around $500 for the bare minimum of a 1080p gaming rig. You can go up to $1,000 for a system that's a little bit future-proof, and that can run games on 1440p at lower to medium settings. If you're aiming for a 1440p system, the prices range from $800 as the bare minimum up to around $1,800 for a more high-end and future-proof system. Now, for a 4K system, you might want to budget around $1,200 up to more than $3,000 if you want to consider future-proofing. Of course, these price ranges are subject to change based on the ever-changing PC parts market, so it's worth keeping this in mind. Also, just a disclaimer, these price ranges aren't exclusive to the resolution you're playing at. In some instances, you can have an $800 PC and still be able to play 4K games smoothly. How? Well, that brings us to our next topic, the types of games that you plan on playing. If you plan on playing easy-to-run games such as Counter-Strike, Valorant, or Roblox, then a $500 to $700 PC would do on any setting. But realistically though, nobody would target a 4K monitor just to play these types of games. However, if you're planning on playing more demanding games such as Hellblade 2, Alan Wake 2, or Cyberpunk 2077, you might want to increase your budget to a maximum of $800 to $1,000 if you're targeting smooth FPS at high to ultra settings on 1080p. If you want to play the same games and settings, but on 1440p with smooth FPS, then I suggest getting a system price somewhere between $1,100 to $1,500. But as I said earlier, you can spend up to $1,800 for a more future-proof build. Finally, if you want to play the said games in settings on 4K with smooth FPS, I recommend spending around $1,800 to $2,500 on your system. Of course, you could go all the way up to $3,000 or even more if you want top-tier performance and a lot of space for future-proofing. All right, now let's move on to FPS or frames per second. Let's say you play competitive shooters such as Fortnite, Valorant, and Counter-Strike 2, and you're aiming for a 240, 360, or even a 540 hertz monitor. Then the prices of these PCs will be different as well. For these types of competitive games, it's important to get a good processor because the games I mentioned are pretty much CPU intensive. On top of that, you'd want to balance the CPU of your choice with a capable GPU. If you plan on playing on a 240 hertz monitor, let's say an $800 to $900 budget would be enough for the said system. If it's a 240 Hz 1440p monitor or a 1080p 360 Hz monitor, you're planning on playing on, the budget would be a bit higher at around $1,200. Then, if you're targeting a 360 Hz 1440p monitor, a 560 Hz 1080p monitor, or a 240 Hz 4K monitor, be prepared to spend around $1,500. Now, you might be wondering where I got these prices. Well, these prices are based mainly on balancing a good CPU with a capable GPU, as these two components are the ones that basically determine FPS, graphics quality, and monitor resolution. On top of that, you should also get good quality components that are compatible with your GPU and CPU. Now, you might get the best quality CPU and GPU in the market, but if other components are the cause of a bottleneck, then you won't be able to play properly. For example, a high-quality power supply will be able to handle heavy workloads, while a low-quality one will just give out when playing demanding titles. Another example is a good CPU cooler that will allow your processor to run optimally. To top it off, these price ranges we're suggesting mean that you have the right CPU and GPU combo with the ideal components built around them. Just so you know though, you can spend around $2,000 on a gaming PC with a 1080p monitor and get incredibly high FPS, but this is basically overkill because you won't be able to notice the difference between, let's say, 560 FPS and 800 FPS if your monitor can only go up to 560 Hz. That being said, I just recommend you spend around $1,500 on your PC, while you spend around $500 on the monitor you want based on the games you want to play, as well as the visual quality and FPS goals. Okay, now this is a bit of a personal opinion of mine, but one pet peeve of mine is seeing people spend way too much on aesthetics. Now, I believe it's okay if you want your PC to look Instagram ready, but if you're sacrificing a ton of money for aesthetics when you could be spending that on better parts for optimum performance, then you're going to want to rethink your PC building decisions. I believe the sweet spot is around $100 if you want to spend on your PC's aesthetics, but that's just me. However, if you're incredibly rich and you want to spend around $500 just on aesthetics, then by all means, go right ahead. But for the practical builders out there, like me, I'd always recommend just spending no more than $100 on aesthetics alone. And that's it for today, guys. When building a PC, always take note of your resolution, FPS goals, the types of games you want to play, the quality of other components, and your PC aesthetics. These will determine how much your system would cost. Now, don't forget, I have listed all the ideal builds for 1080p, 1440p, and 4K in the description below, so be sure to check them out. And there you have it, folks, how much you should spend on a gaming PC in 2025. If you liked this video and it helped you in any way, please do give it a like and hit the subscribe button. If you have a question or a product you want us to review, be sure to drop your recommendations in the comments below. Until next time, this is Mark signing off, reminding you to stay connected and updated with all of our research into everything that makes our tech rooms great.